Hello, Maura here from Charly Goss Style Inc. Today we're going to chat a little bit about current fall trends, some of my favorite fall trends, what to look for when you're shopping them, and some ideas on how to wear them. So to get started with bottoms, barrel leg is nothing new, but it is continuing into the fall winter season. Thankfully, because they've been around for probably a year and a half now, we're seeing a range of shape when it comes to barrel leg, and we're seeing it outside of just the denim as well. So you can opt for a trouser or a chino pant or something cotton. It's all up to you and your personal style on how you prefer to wear this specific style. So the ones that I have here are a dark wash, they're a black washed denim from Free People. These ones are quite exaggerated, but super fun if you're really leaning into that trend. Because we're getting into colder months, I would definitely opt for something in a darker color. So black, indigo, medium wash if you're going for denim. And then also for the fall winter season, you're gonna wanna lean into those warmer tones. So browns, black, taupes, that kind of idea. Even khaki green. We're loving khaki green right now. So if you want to do like a darker green, if you want to implement some color, that's a great idea as well. One thing to keep in mind with the barrel leg trend, especially if you're going with something quite exaggerated like this one, is you want to think about proportions and how you're wearing it. So because there is a lot of shape going on with a style like this, you want to do something a little bit more form-fitting or something that shows a little bit of shape through the waist or your arms on top. And then I typically like to pair a shoe that's a little bit more slimline, like a ballet flat or even a loafer. Another style of pant that we're seeing a lot of, this was also coming through spring, summer, but is sticking around again for fall, winter, is the satin pant. So there's a lot of retailers now that are carrying them in the wide leg. That's something you definitely want to keep in mind, is we're going more wide leg, more relaxed fit. And again, you want to stick with those darker tones to keep it looking chic and modern. So opt for a black, brown, khaki green, something taupe. And then as far as styling goes, because again, it's loose and flowy and a little bit more relaxed, you want to play around with shape a little bit. So you want to either show a wrist. If you're going to do a sweater, think about maybe doing a little front tuck, millennial tuck. And then with shoes, again, you want to try and keep it a little more slimline, whether that's a slimline retro sneaker, a ballet flat, something along those lines. Even a heel looks really nice if you want to dress them up for the evening time. If you love a satin skirt, which we all do, I think most people at this point have one in their wardrobe. The thing is, if we want to go a little more modern with the satin skirt, we're incorporating a little bit of lace detail in the bottom of our satin skirts now. So this kind of lingerie inspired feminine touch is very big right now. We're seeing it in both skirts. I've got a mini skirt version on myself today. They're doing it in the maxi skirts. We're seeing a lot of satin tops with lace detail along the bottom and on the neckline. So this is a good way to modernize your satin skirt. And again, you want to keep styling in mind. You want to keep it updated. You want to keep it fresh. So we love kind of an oversized sweater with our satin skirts. Think about shape again. Add a belt if you want to define your waist a little bit. We love them with a tall boot when the weather gets a little bit colder. And of course, you can play around with jackets. There's tons of cropped trench coats. You can play around with texture if you want to do a leather or a wool. Looks really, really fresh and fun for the fall winter season. Now, like any time of year, basics are a staple in our wardrobe. And one thing to keep in mind that we're seeing is stripes. So I am absolutely loving a stripe in a long sleeve shirt. Of course, you'll see this in sweaters and jackets and even pants, but I think the long sleeve shirt is one of the easier ways to incorporate it into your daily looks. And if you go with something a little bit more oversized, then you can kind of play around with it outside of just wearing it as you would any other t-shirt or long sleeve shirt. So for example, This one, I love that it's a bit of a different color. It's got that mustard yellow stripe, and this specific style is quite big, so it looks nice layered over my shoulders, tied around my neck, tied around my waist. You can kind of have fun with it and play around with it a little bit more than something more form-fitting. Plaid is another one that is absolutely massive for fall. This one can be tricky because there are some styles that are a little bit more outdated. We're staying away from the buffalo red and black check. That's kind of a dead giveaway that it's a little bit outdated. This specific plaid shirt is from Aritzia. It's one of their new arrivals. The color combination here is super fresh and really fun. This is a thicker fabric, so it's kind of leaning more towards that flannel style, but it is 100% cotton. And the big thing to note with plaid, if you're gonna go with something like the plaid shirt, is how you're styling it. So for example, with this one, because it is quite oversized, I like to add a little bit of shape to it by belting it right over top of the shirt or doing a little tuck, belting around your pant. Pairing it with a trouser, a wide leg denim in a dark wash makes it feel more updated, more fresh, and current. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. If you want to do plaid in a jacket format, that's also really fun. But with the shirt, you want to pay close attention to how you're styling it in order to stay current. Another massive trend right now is the funnel neck jacket. What's fun about this one is there's so many different styles to choose from. Going into fall, there's really lightweight fabrics. This one is a little bit more casual and sporty in a technical style. I love the white. It feels really crisp for the fall season. And so with this one specifically, you don't have to pair it with the obvious athleisure wear. Actually, I love mixing something that feels a little bit more casual and athletic with something more tailored. So I would pair this one with a tailored trouser and a loafer to kind of throw people off a little bit. Something unexpected feels way more intentional. And then if we're gonna talk knitwear, because obviously fall winter is all about the warm and cozy knits, two that are really standing out to me is the polo sweater. So we've seen a lot of preppy inspired styles throughout this entire year, and going into fall winter, I think it's such a cute detail in a knit sweater with the polo collar and little button detail here. So you can do this in a range of different colors. This one specifically is by Lovers and Friends from Revolve, but the little polo adds that little preppy flair. It adds a little bit of sophistication to your average knitwear. One that I'm really loving and seeing a lot of, paying attention to the fashion week and street style, is the cape. So loving it in a knit. This one specifically is cashmere. It's almost like a scarf mixed with a crew neck sweater. It's like an easy throw on, and it automatically makes your outfit look chic and updated and modern and cool. So for this, there's a few different ways that you can do it. I would throw this over something very simple like a long sleeve shirt or a turtleneck that's a little more fitted to the body. You could even layer it over top of a jacket that doesn't have too much bulk underneath, so that it gives you that extra layer, a little bit of movement, a little bit of flow. And the neckline on this one is really nice. It's got kind of that asymmetrical, kind of slouchy, draped neckline, which is very, very pretty. Let's talk shoes. So I have on a tall boot. I feel like everyone needs a tall boot in their wardrobe going into the fall winter season. They look so fabulous with a skirt, whether that's a maxi skirt, short skirt, dresses, even a wide leg jean. If your pant leg is wide enough to fit over the boot, then it kind of is perfect. So one thing you want to look out for when you're purchasing the tall boots is something a little more elongated in the toe is gonna add length to your legs. And nobody's wearing like a 6-inch heel anymore. Let's be real, it's not realistic for wearing all day long, whether you're at work or going out with your friends. So we're opting for a little bit of a kitten heel option. Something 1 to 2 inches is perfect and totally reasonable. Next up, ballet flats. Another classic, but we're having a little bit of fun with them now. So There's a lot of sporty inspired ballet flats out there. These ones are from Zara. I love the little stitching detail and elastic over the top, so it adds a little bit more of a trendy vibe to a classic shaped shoe. But of course, if that's not your style, you can go with a more classic shape. This one's got a nice almond toe and in a brown suede. So the fabric and texture, I would stick with leather or suede is preferable. If you really want to have fun with it, then pony hair is one to consider as well. Speaking of brown suede, we are loving a brown suede loafer right now. These are from Linterval. I am completely obsessed with them. They're so soft. They've got that ruche toe detail, and they just are the perfect shade of brown. You want to opt for something a little bit darker. It'll make it easier to pair with your black, navies, taupes, and brown things in your wardrobe. So a brown suede loafer is definitely something that you might want to add to your fall winter collection. And finally, the retro sneaker. Again, this isn't something new. We've definitely seen this throughout the last 2 years, but there's so many styles available now. So plenty to choose from, whatever your style and preference may be. These are the Adidas Japan sneakers. I picked these up at Aritzia. I opted for something black and white. They've got a little suede detail and perforation around the toe. They're just sleek, they're modern, they're a little more slimline, so it makes it easier to pair them with your wide leg pants, even a slimmer pant. They're very, very versatile, so highly recommend picking up a retro sneaker. Last of all, animal print. We've seen animal print again throughout this year, a lot of leopard, but for fall, winter, it's all about the snakeskin. So we can do this in a few different ways. We're seeing it in skirts, sweaters, jackets, but my favorite way to incorporate it is through accessories. So for me, opt for a little bag or clutch. I've seen a few great ballet flats. There is a pair from Reformation that is on my current wish list. So I would say the easiest way, if you're a little nervous to add this bold of a pattern into your day-to-day wardrobe, is start with an accessory. So a great bag will do the trick. All right, that is it from me. I hope you enjoyed chatting through some of my favorite fall trends heading into fall winter season. Don't forget to have fun with your fashion, incorporate those patterns, have fun with texture, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below.